Once upon a time, once upon a time, once upon a time, long, long ago, in the Sahyadri mountains of Maharashtra, there was a tiny village called Keswadi. Now in Marathi, which is the language of Maharashtra, Kes means, does anyone know? Kes means hair. That's right, hair. And everybody in Keswadi, which literally meant the village of hair, oh, they all had such beautiful hair. Long, thick, black and shining hair. And of course, they were all really proud of their long, thick, black and shining hair. You know, the men of the village, every morning before they began work, they would sit under the village banyan tree, twirling their long, thick, black and shining mustaches. That's right. And the women of the village, after they finished their work for the day, they would sit under the same banyan tree, oiling and combing their long, thick, black and shining hair. Of course, everybody in Keswadi was very proud of their hair, except for two little girls, two sisters about whom our story today is. Now, these two sisters also had long, thick, black and shining hair. But the problem was they had very little of it. In fact, the first little sister, do you want to meet her? Wait, I'll get her. She's with me. The first little sister, can you see her, everyone? And can you see how many hair she has? The first little sister, whose name was Ek Wali, which in Marathi means the one with one hair. Yes, she had only one hair. Everyone called her Ekki. Okay? And the second little sister. Now, do you want to meet her? Yes, should I get her along? Okay. So the second little sister, whose name was Don Keswali, guess how many hair she had? Of course, she had two hair. And everyone called her Dokki. Okay? Now, although Dokki also had very little hair, just two, but she felt very happy because Ekki had only one. And we all know two is double of one. So Dokki loved to tease Ekki about her one hair. Okay, as if you have siblings, you will know this, right? Older siblings always want to tease the younger siblings. So that's exactly how Dokki was. So whenever she wanted to tease Ekki, you know what she did? She would just bring her two fingers in the front like this and just say, do, 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 do. And how do you think Ekki felt about that? Did she like it? She felt very bad. But what could she do? That's how Dokki was. Now one day, it so happened that Ekki's Ai, her mother, was very angry with her for some reason. Ekki had made some mistake. So Ai scolded her. Now because Ai was angry, her Baba, her father, too scolded Ekki. And along came Dokki with her two fingers, saying, do, 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 do. This was the final straw. Ekki felt so bad, so bad. Little tears began coursing down her chubby cheeks and she said, I'm not going to stay here anymore. Nobody likes me. I'm going away. And so saying, Ekki began to run. She ran right outside her house. She ran right out of her village. She ran to the deep, dark forest right behind her village in the mountains. And when Ekki ran Remember the tapping sound that she made? Come on, let's all tap along with her like this. Tappity tap, tappity tap, tappity tap, tappity tap. Come on, everyone. Tappity tap, tappity tap, tappity tap, tappity tap. And because the forest was set in the hills, Ekki had to go up and down. Something like this. Try and do it with me. Up the hill, down the hill. Up the hill, down the hill. Tappity tap, tappity tap, tappity tap, tappity tap. And then, suddenly, Ekki stopped. You know why she stopped? She stopped because she heard a cry for help. Ah, ah! That's what the cry said. Ekki looked around her and in the tree above, she saw a little parrot. It felt as if the parrot had broken its wing. Wait, parrot, I'm coming to help you, said Ekki to the parrot. And she slowly climbed up the tree like this. And then, very carefully, she took the parrot on her shoulder like this and slowly brought it down. Then Ekki bent down, took some wet mud from the ground below, and very carefully she applied it to the parrot's broken wing. And instantly, as if by magic, the parrot's wing was healed. The parrot was so happy, it came and it snuggled right next to Ekki's cheek like this. Ekki giggled. She said, "It's okay, parrot. I'm happy to help you. Bye-bye now." And brrr, the parrot flew away. As for Ekki, something magical happened to her as well. Having helped the parrot, Ekki felt so good and so happy that she forgot all about her tears. She forgot all about how angry she had been. And suddenly, Ekki was happy again. I'm not angry anymore. Should I go back home? Wondered Ekki. Do you think she should go back home? Yes? No. Ekki was a very adventurous girl. She thought to herself, I've come so far into this forest. I've never been here before. Why not explore it a little more? And so, Ekki continued running into the forest. Like this. Come on, let's run with her. Tappity tap, tappity tap, tappity tap, tappity tap. Up the hill, down the hill. Up the hill, down the hill. Tappity tap, tappity tap, tappity tap, tappity tap. And then, suddenly, Ekki stopped again. Now this time, Ekki stopped because she heard another cry for help. Ekki looked around her and she saw a cute little baby elephant. It was soft and cute like this. And Ekki wondered, where has its mother gone, leaving the baby all alone? Oh, you poor thing, you must be hungry, right? And so, Ekki ran. She ran back, she cut some grass, and she went and fed the elephant. Now, the baby elephant felt so happy, that it came and it caressed Ekki's cheek like this. Ekki giggled, and she said, "Thank you. You're welcome, baby elephant. I'm so happy I could help you. Bye-bye now. I have to go deeper into the forest. I am exploring this forest now." And off Ekki went, running deeper into the deep, dark forest like this. Tappity tap, tappity tap, tappity tap, tappity tap. Up the hill, down the hill. Up the hill, down the hill. Tappity tap, tappity tap, tappity tap, tappity tap. And again. Ekki stopped. Now, this time she stopped not because somebody was asking for help. Instead, somebody was offering to help Ekki. It was an old grandma. We call an old grandma Aji in Marathi. So it was an old Aji with bent, stooping shoulders, holding on to a walking stick, who said to Ekki, "My dear, you look very tired. Why don't you come inside and have a wash? You will feel fresh again." "Ah," said Ekki, "that's a good idea, Aji. I am feeling very sweaty." And so Ekki walked inside the Aji's tiny hut. Now, inside that tiny hut, Ekki saw an even tinier bathroom. And in that tinier bathroom, there was the tiniest ledge Ekki had ever seen. And on that ledge was a teeny tiny bowl of soap and a tiny jar of water. First, Ekki took just a handful of water and splashed it on her face. As if by magic, she felt fresh again. But then she noticed the one hair on top of her head. It felt a little sticky. Maybe I should wash it too, thought Ekki. So she took very carefully just one dab of soap and carefully put it on that one hair. And then, very carefully, she took just a tiny handful of water and splashed it on her one hair. Now, Ekki looked around and she saw a towel. So she picked up the towel and carefully wiped her face. Then she put it on her head and began to rub her hair dry, like this. And then Ekki removed her towel. But what she saw left her gasping with shock and surprise. "Deva re Deva," she said to herself, because in place of that one hair on top of her head, there now were hundreds, thousands of hair. Her head now was full of hair, just like everybody else in Keswadi. "Yoo-hoo," said Ekki. She was so happy. She felt so good that she wanted to share this joy with her friends and her family. So she rushed outside the hut. She went and hugged the Aji and said, "Thank you, Aji. Thank you so much. I'll be back to meet you again." And off Ekki went, back home. And this time she was so happy, so excited, that she ran a little faster than usual, like this. Tappity tap, tappity tap, tappity tap, tappity tap, up the hill, down the hill, up the hill, down the hill, tappity tap, tappity tap, tappity tap, tappity tap. And finally, Ekki reached home. Now, when she reached home, Ai and Baba were out in the fields working. Only Dokki was home. And when Dokki saw Ekki, she said, "Oh, Deva re Deva, he kai zala?" Which meant, "What happened? How did you get all that hair?" Ekki smiled, and being the friendly, kind little girl she was, she quickly shared the story with her sister. Now, as soon as Dokki heard this story, she didn't wait to say a word to Ekki. She quickly began to run. Where do you think she ran? Yes, Dokki ran straight out of the house, straight out of the village, into the deep, dark forest. And so excited was Dokki to get her own head full of hair just like Ekki, that she ran with full speed and all her might, like this. Tappity tap, tappity tap, tappity tap, tappity tap, up the hill, down the hill, up the hill, down the hill, tappity tap, tappity tap, tappity tap, tappity tap. along the way, do you think Dokki heard some sounds too? She too heard the parrot cry for help. She too heard the baby elephant cry out for help. But do you think Dokki stopped to help them? She was in too much of a hurry to get her new hair. She didn't stop at all. And when she reached the magical hut and saw the old Aji, do you think Dokki stopped to say hello to her or wait to be invited inside? Instead, Dokki did something dreadful. She pushed Aji out of the way and she ran straight into the tiny hut. There she saw the tinier bathroom with the tiniest ledge and the teeny tiny bowl of soap and the teeny tiny jar of water. With great haste, Dokki poured the entire soap on her two hair. And then, with great haste, she poured the entire jar of water on her two hair. And then she began to scrub and scrub and scrub and scrub and scrub and scrub the two hair. And then she looked around for the magical towel. With great excitement, she put it on her head and she began to rub her hair like this. And finally, with the greatest of excitement and anticipation, Dokki removed the towel. But what she saw made her gasp with shock. "Deva re deva," she said to herself. "Hey, काय झालं?" Because in place of the two hair on her head, there now was nothing. Even the two hair that Dokki had, tupak, tupak, both of them fell down one by one. How come this happened to me? Dokki wondered. Ekki got a head full of hair. I did everything she had told me to. It's not fair. It's not fair, said Dokki to herself. And in anger, she ran outside the hut and she began running home to ask Ekki why this had happened. Dokki began to run. Tappity-tap, 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 up the hill, down the hill, up the hill, down the hill, tappity-tap, 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 tappity-tap. When Dokki reached home, I and Baba were still outside in the fields. Ekki was alone at home, but she wasn't inside. She was waiting outside in the garden, pacing up and down, waiting for Dokki to come home. And when Ekki saw Dokki, she too gasped with shock. "Deva re deva, हे कसं झालं?" she said to Dokki. And at those words, Dokki couldn't control her tears anymore. Big, hot, angry tears of shame began running down her chubby cheeks. What do you think Ekki did when she saw Dokki cry like that? Do you remember how Dokki used to tease Ekki? Do you think Ekki teased Dokki now? No, that's not the kind of girl she was. Instead, Ekki ran to Dokki and she enveloped her into the biggest, warmest, most loving embrace ever. And she said to her, "Sister, hair or no hair, you are my sister and I love you very much. Please don't cry. You are very beautiful to me and you will always be beautiful. And I'm sure one day your hair will come back to you. Please don't cry." Now the moment Ekki said these words and Dokki heard them, all the anger, all the grief, the sorrow, the shame vanished in Dokki's mind. And she too felt a nice, warm, loving feeling rise up from her heart. It was truly magic. Dokki too hugged Ekki back and said, I love you too, Ekki. And from that day onwards, the two sisters were the best of friends. They did everything together. They loved each other, took care of each other, and lived happily ever after. As for Dokki's hair, do you think it came back one day just like Ekki said it would? Maybe. But that, my friends, is another story. Perhaps I will tell it to you some other time. For today, do let me know whether you liked this story